Hello guys. So this is my personal training room for to be able to show those of you that don't have Excel skills. So the purpose of this class is to show you and develop you on the use of Excel. Okay, the use of Excel. Um, just majorly for trading. Okay, to fill your reports and be able to get information that you need. Okay, so this is not for everybody. It's just the simplest way that I feel can be able to help my students to be able to develop their Excel skills. Okay, so um now this sign X is always for Excel. So if you don't know, you have to have a Microsoft Word, Microsoft to be able to have access to Excel. Okay, so this is the sign. You see, this is for Word, W, Excel is X. Okay, so we have different versions. Okay, we have PowerPoint, so you must have Microsoft Office for you to be able to access the PowerPoint, the Excel, and the Word. Okay, so when you have the Excel, so just click on it. You click on the X symbol. Okay, so it's going to give you a plain sheet. So you see, this is the plain sheet of the Excel. Okay, so we have the sheets. We have this is the sheet. So if I want to create more sheets, if I want to create more sheets, all I just need to do is click on it, then right click on the mouse. Okay, I'll right click on the mouse. So when I right click on the mouse, it gives me this option: insert, delete, rename. So these are the various options. So if I right click on the mouse, it's going to give me this information. Okay, so if I want to make a new sheet, I'll click on insert. So I'm going to, this is not right, this is going to, I'm doing a normal click here. Okay, so it's going to do insert. So it's going to, you see, insert a workbook, insert a chart. So whatever you want, you just click on it again and press OK. And you see sheet 2. So sheet 1, sheet 2. So you can see that they are different. So that's how, so if I want to create another sheet again, I right click, it gives me this option. I click on normal one, shows me, and it tells me, and I press OK. You can see, so we have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, like that. If I want to delete, the same thing it does. I right click and I press delete and delete it. Okay. If I want to rename it, I can right click and rename. So when I rename test, you see. So and once I type the test there, the name, I click out of it, and that becomes the name of the sheet. Okay. So for example, sheet 2 now, if I want to rename it, I just double click on it, you see, or I can, if I don't, I can double click on it to give me this. Alternatively, I can right click and type in rename. Okay. So I type in ONG and test out. Now, if I want to delete it again, I just click on it, right click, and I press delete. And you see that the ONG sheet will be gone. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. So you can see the ONG sheet is gone. So we have test and sheet 3 that we have remaining. So that is how to open rename Excel sheet. Okay. Now, if you want to put in data, so this is what we call columns A, B, C, D. And these are rows 1, 2, 3. So the columns are in alphabets and the rows are in number. So if I'm talking of, and that is, so any sheet I click, if you look at this top here, you will see A1. So which means column A and row 1. So which is at this point. So if I move the cursor here, you see B1, C1, D1. You can see that it's changing here. Can you see? So this shows where my data, where the bounce, the position where it is now. So if I'm going to put any data in it, this is the place that the data is going to be. So if I want to, for example, let me click here, you see that it's going to change to you can see I7. So if I want to put in any data, we have different types of data you can put in. You can put in figures 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see? And press enter. It remains there. You can type in whatever you want, A, B, C, D, A, B. But let me leave that. So let me go back 1, 2, 3, 4, and type enter, and it goes. You can leave it there. You can type A, B, C, D. Press enter. It remains there. You can type. You can see. So you can type any shape, whatever you want. You know, there. So, and you can see this I7, this is I8, this is I9. So this shows where you are, the position that you are in. Okay. So all we just need to understand is inputting the data. So once you just press in the data, you can move it, use your mouse to click on this space and type in your data. Okay. So that is all. It's just as simple as that. So, but for those of us, like if you want to do additions for the next level, for example, now I can decide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So I've typed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on all the sheets, on all the columns. Sorry, in the cell, rather, sorry, yeah. So this is a cell, individual cell. So individual cell comprises of a combination of a row and a column, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 now. So if I want to add all of them together, you can see that just clicking on all of them and highlighting, at the bottom here, you can see it's telling me the sum. So if I add all of them together, it's telling me that the sum is 15. It's telling me that the count is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's telling me that the average is 3. So if I add all of them together and divide by the column, so 15 divided by 5, the average is 3. So how do I confirm that as well? So I can always do that again with another style. I can go to, you can see here, these are different symbols. So if I want to bolden this, I'll press, you can see this B, this is for bold. You can see that this is different from the other ones. If I want to increase the size, I'll come here and say this is currently 11. I can put it at 18. You can see. So if I want to color this cell, it's either I decide on which color I want to use. You see, I can change any of the colors as I like, or just use the yellow that is there. If I want to change the figure from black to red, that's where this is red or any color. You can see, I can change it to red. You can see it has turned from black to red. So this is for the cell. This is for the figures inside the cell. So that's the purpose of this, okay? So if I want to add all of them, for example, now, I just need to put, you can see this symbol. I'll come here, it's telling me the sum. So I click on it, it's going to sum everything, and I press enter. So it shows B2 to B, you see? So this is the sum, just like we saw earlier, this is 15. So just like we saw earlier, at the top bottom here, the sum is 15, okay? So if I want to get the average, let me do the average. I can say equals to, or, okay, just come here, put average. So average, I'm going to do average of, remember the average is average of year to year. So it's going to give me an average of 3, likely. You see, average of 3. And if I want to count the numbers, I'm not counting every time, counting from year to year. It's going to give me 5. And you see that. So which is the same thing that we have. So all these 3 are still the same thing that we have here. We have the sum of 15, the count of 5, and the average of 3. So which is all that we have here. So if I want to know the maximum, which is 5, I just put it here and say, okay, what is the maximum point of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press enter. It's going to give me a 5 because 5 is the highest. Can you see? And if I want to check the minimum, I'll say minimum. It's going to give me what is the minimum that I'm looking for. So I'm going to now highlight this and it's going to give me a 1. So 1 is the lowest. So that's what it refers to as minimum. So you can see 5 is the highest, which is the maximum. 1 is the lowest, which is the minimum. Okay. So that's it. So, you know, Excel is very, very important. It helps to highlight. So that's why, like now, this is my report. So these are my reports. You know, so if I want to put any information there, for example, you can see this is 12. So here I can put in 13. Or what is Monday? Monday is going to be, let's look at the date of Monday. Monday should be 15th or so. Monday is going to be 15th. So I can put in 15th here. And once I put the 15 here, I can highlight it to copy all the 15 into the other spaces. So you see, all of them are now on 15th. So I can copy all this information here. Control copy, C, Control C, and paste it here in a new space. Let me paste it down so that you see. Look at this space is empty. So I'm going to Control V. You see, I'm pasting all of them there. So there are a lot of things I can delete, I can undo at the top here to go back to previous. You see, if I press backwards, it goes back, it deletes it. If I press forward, it brings it back again. And you see that. So it's just, you know, opening the sheets, inputting the data, knowing what you want to input there. And so if I want to save everything now so that it won't get erased, or for example, if I want to close this sheet now, it's going to tell me, do I want to save? And so if I want to save it, for example, now look at the first, what we did initially. I remember that here. You can remember here we did a lot of samples. So the sheet doesn't have a name yet. Okay, that's why if you see here, you see book 1, book 2. Can you see? So, but I can save this as a name. So if I want to close this now, all I just need to do is press in this X. So if I press the X, then it will close it. But before it closes, it's going to ask me some questions. So let me test it now. I want to close this sheet now, okay? So I'm pressing this X. You see, it tells me, do I want to save this sheet? If I don't need this sheet, I'll press don't save. But if I'm going to need it in the future, then I'm going to give it a name. Okay, so I can just say today is 13th, so Excel test January 15. You see, so Excel test, or let me just put Excel training. You can see training January 15. So that's going to be the name of the file. And it's telling me where do I want to save it. Okay, so I can save it anywhere. I can save it in the documents. I can save it on my desktop. I can save it wherever. So I'm the one that is going to determine where I want to save it, the location. Okay, and then see if I have more options. It's telling me more options of the location. I can try to save it on the desktop. Okay, so you can see the file name. It's the type, the name I want, the type of sheet, which is an Excel workbook, and the place I want to save it. I'm saving it on my desktop. So after putting everything, I'll now press save. Can you see that? So it's automatically saved. So if I want to close it now, so you see, so if I want to close it now, you can see that it has already closed. Can you see that? Because I've saved it. Now for this one, I don't want to save this one. So if I press X, you can see because I didn't do anything on it, it has closed itself. Okay, so let's go and retrieve the one that I saved. Okay, so for me to retrieve that, like I said, I saved it on the desktop. So you can see this is it here. Alternatively, I can go through this file. I'll just press File Explorer, Desktop, because I saved it on the desktop. Okay, and then I'll be looking for Excel training. You can see here, Excel training January 15, and I double click it. And you see, look at it again. So that is it. Everything that I've done before comes up. So that's how it works. Okay. So if I want to close it again, I'll close it. X may ask me, do I want to save? Or it may save it automatically. You see, I press X, it has saved. Can you see that? So that's it. Okay. So I believe this will be able to give us an insight. You know, this is one of the series that we'll be using to discuss on our Excel training. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope you've been able to learn one or two things from this class in this few minutes. So try and put what you have discussed here, put it in test training, you know, and see for yourself how you need to make. One thing about Excel is that the more you use it, the more you get to understand it. So you need to use it more. Okay, so try this first period training and let's see how it goes, and we'll move in from there. Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Cheers. Bye. I remain yours and only Oluwase Fadare. Cheers.